All right, on to our interactive segment this afternoon. Is international learning the right way to go? On set is Lorna Clayton, Managing Director at Academic Families, a UK-based education consultancy. Welcome on set, Lorna.
Thank you, Irene.
To kick us off, is international way the right way to go? And what is Academic Families doing in regards to this?
Well, I believe that international education is a very strong argument for parents to develop their children and give them the opportunities in life, even if they're coming back home, wherever that is. We support families around the world, but in particular in Kenya, to educate their children overseas, but at the boarding school age in preparation as a pathway to university.
We have had so many challenges of people going abroad to acquire this education, and it ends up to be very messy. What are the measures we are putting in place, at least to improve the international education, even as we aspire to acquire it on that level?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you are right. Some of the messy situations you described are at the university level, and that's why we strongly advocate that parents will consider, at least for 2 years, if not longer, to send the children to boarding school, where the children will be fully supported in the boarding environment, and then they will be better equipped when they progress on to university, whether it's in the UK, Canada, the States, wherever that may be. We also offer guardianship, so a bit like you being your big sister. If you sent your child overseas, the things you'd ask your sister to do, we provide all of that support for our students in the UK. But because we're a big sister, we also keep you right. We tell you what you need to do as well. So all our children, our motto is safe, happy, successful students, and it's very much in the age group and the group that we work with. The children are very, very successful and adapt well.
From the high school level, there is the university level. There are challenges that come with it, especially financially. How are we trying to bridge the gap? There needs to be met on financially, and at the same time, one needs to acquire education.
Well, none of us can get away from the fact that education is very expensive, full stop, and international education is also expensive. Boarding school fees are the same for domestic and international students. They are the same. That's different in the university sector, where international students can pay higher fees, but it's the same for everybody. However, they still are expensive. It's not for everybody.
What do we look at so that we make sure we get the right group of people for this education?
The right group will be anybody who aspires to an international exposure and education, who's interested in the independence and the cultural experience that moving overseas will bring. In particular, if you're a boarding school in the UK, then it's not just the UK students. There are students from all over the world, so it really is a global experience that they will be coming for. But families need to have the financial wherewithal to be able to send them over. Children need to want to go. Often we recommend that families will come over the summer before, and they will visit the schools before they make their final choice, so that the child is confident that they feel that they can live there, that they will be successful there. It's very much about empowering the family and the child to get the right education. There's so many schools, and it's about finding the ones that have the best course and the best culture for the child. And we know my team and I, we lived in Kenya for 37 years. We know we know who Kenyan children, who they are, and how well they do and how well they adapt. So we know the schools that will suit them well. But still, at the end of the day, it's the child and the parents' choice as to which schools that they go to.
Academic Families is an institution based in the UK, but then we're looking at the challenges that are facing learners abroad. We have quite a number of Kenyans who are in the UK pursuing their education. How are we trying to fill the gap, especially the need of making sure a parent is comfortable when my child is pursuing education abroad?
Well, at our level, at the boarding school level, at the high school level, then they are extremely well supported by the boarding school, and then also by the guardian, by Academic Families in this case. The UK government has very strong rules on visas and the support that must be provided by the schools. Safeguarding is very, very important. It's fundamental to everything in the UK education.
Any measures we've been able to put in place to ensure that all that we sign on paper goes through?
Yes, so what we recommend is that when we help families to find the right school for their child, the best school, then all the contract side of it is between them and the school, and they pay all the fees directly to the school. We're not an intermediary in that regard, and so that they know that their money is going where it should be going.
There have been a number of issues affecting academics, and they always say prevention is better than cure. What are measures that we need to take to prevent these red flags anytime one needs to get an opportunity abroad for education?
You have to make sure that your child is prepared and wants to go, and that you give them the skills to be independent and resilient and ready to go. I think that is fundamental. If you are seeking support and you're using a consultancy or an agency or whatever, then make sure that they are accredited. We're accredited, we're qualified agents with the British Council, we're accredited by the Boarding Schools Association, our guardianship, we're gold standard for AEGIS, the guardianship agency. Make sure that who you're dealing with really does have the credentials and is recognised for their professionalism. I think that's fundamental.
From where you sit, from the experience you have had as an expert in education matters, where are areas that you think we Africans, or let's say students from Kenya, should focus more, and what are the opportunities that we have been able to get after pursuing our education abroad?
Well, I think that the schools here are very good, and so that if you have a skill that you want to develop further, then you want to get a specialist school that can help you develop that. If in fact on the other side that there is something that you want to do, whether it's a sport or an arts or academics and subjects that you want to pursue that you can't get locally in Kenya, then you can find a school that will be able to satisfy that. And then the opportunities within the universities, British education and will take you anywhere in the world. It is recognised. Most families use it as a pathway. The school is a pathway into British universities, and the children go on to the Russell Group and the top universities within the UK. Don't ever doubt Kenyan children, their abilities. Kenyans are highly sought after in the UK. They are great. The students are able, academically able. They're great in boarding houses because they're sociable. They're resilient, and they're really strong. Schools really want Kenyan children. They like them. You're good.
How would you compare the education for British curriculum being pursued in Kenya and the British curriculum back abroad? Is it something we can do it back here at home?
British curriculum taught in Kenya is very good, and so that means that those children can then move over very easily. The difference comes in that your schools are smaller, and maybe the competition between them for sports is different, is not so strong, and just the opportunities that you have, and the independent life that the students can live. It's just, that is different. But no, your British curriculum schools are a very good stepping stone.
What will be your parting words as we come to an end of this?
My parting words are: consider it. It's very good. Encourage your children to step out. With technology nowadays, mums, especially mums, I've done it, most of my team, we've done it, sent our children away, and it's hard. It's very hard. But you have to be proud of them, that you have to encourage them to go and to be good global citizens, and we can help. We're bringing lots of schools out to visit families, and they're here in Kenya this weekend in Nairobi, and yeah, give it a go.
How far have, when we come to that conclusion, you've talked about AI. Where do you rank Kenya on AI?
Oh, I'm not sure, but I don't doubt that Kenyans have the technology there. I don't know, but AI is here to stay, and we have to adapt and learn from it very quickly. But make sure that learning is not just taken over by AI. You still have got to be able to use AI as a tool and not rely on it to replace the education.
Thank you so much, Lorna Clayton, Managing Director at Academic Families, a UK-based education consultancy. Talking on education matters. Is international learning the right way to go? Thank you for having you.
Thank you very much, Ari.
Welcome back once.